Hello and welcome to Star Citizen 3.23. My name is Evenlease, and today on 10 Minutes or Less Ship Review, I'm going to be taking a whole new look at the ARES Starfighter Ion just to see how the update brings this ship into the game as we know it. Let's go ahead and take a look. Starting off with the ARES Starfighter Ion, I just want to say really quick that this is going to be the first ship that I review, obviously as you're watching this, but after this, for Invictus launch week, I want to make sure that I have a whole series of videos going over the very beginner ship to something not so beginner, obviously. So a lot of the game packages you see that are available for new players or players that aren't new, I'm going to be reviewing those ships and kind of doing like a, countdown till Invictus and hopefully getting as many ships as I can in over the next 20 days or so, allowing potential new buyers or just people looking for different ships to get an idea of what they're buying with the new 3.23 update. Now, I'm only starting with this ship first, even though it's kind of a higher cost ship, around $250 if you were to buy it on the pledge store during Invictus, or if you were to buy it in-game for $4,725,000 at the Crusader showroom floor, because of the fact that I've flown this ship a million times and I've done many videos over it, so I have a very big love for what this ship is, and that's why I sadly have to review it into the dirt. Let's go ahead and start off with everything we know about this ship. Obviously, you do have all of your available access points for, all the stuff up top. At the top of the ship, I don't have a button press right there for some reason, but the rest of the buttons do work. So if you were to go up to them, you can press these buttons and bring up all the components for this ship. And they're pretty much littering the entire top of the ship. So that is very cool. I like having physicalized components. Always good to see on any ship in the game, because that is the route for all ships. And it just is a really big bummer, cough, cough, Avenger Titan, when you don't have access to these things. Hopefully we'll see a update pass on that ship soon. Back to the ARES Starfighter Ion. Let's go ahead and talk about stats. So, starting off, this ship has a stock DPS of 1,875. And that sounds really good because it is a size 7 gun, but I just want to go into a few things with you. They have completely, and I know there's going to be some people that say, well, it was never meant to be the way it was. I totally understand that, but they have completely demolished what this ship was. And, probably for good reason, given the fact that this ship is only supposed to attack a certain, size ship. You're supposed to use this ship in, an attack formation with the Inferno, as well as many other little ships going against a capital size ship. That's why this ship is now what it is, and it's probably not going to get much better from here. I really don't see it getting much better from here. The only thing they could really do is kind of revert some of the changes, which I don't think they're going to. They are trying to archetype this ship into being a capital class chaser and destroyer, which it's never going to really destroy a capital class or a big ship by itself. And even as a group of ships, I really don't see it doing that either, just because that gun isn't enough to really be a destroyer of sorts. I think this ship can definitely, obviously take down shields and do a bit of damage, but do I think I could see this ship going after a javelin with a group of them? No, I don't think so. Especially now. And I'm going to go into why. That size 7 gun, which is the SF7E, this big old laser cannon here, has 1,500 alpha damage at a minimum, right? So you're just pressing the mouse button and just shooting it, normally. With that, it's 50 rounds per minute at a normal pace, which it was cut dramatically because prior it was a lot faster than that. It wasn't so slow of a shot. And the damage, the minimum alpha damage wasn't that bad either. They actually went down a bit. And the reason being is they've added a charge shot to this gun. So now if you hold mouse button 1, and it takes about 2 seconds, a little bit over, it will charge and then fire. And that charge shot does 6,000 alpha damage. Now you're going to be like, wow, that's crazy. That sounds overpowered to me. Honestly, it's a pain. It's a pain in the rear. It's not like you hold the mouse button down and then it just repeatedly charges. You have to constantly remember to press the mouse button every 2 seconds. And, you have to be right on target. If you're facing anything the same size as you, even a little bit bigger or smaller, you have to stay on target, which is already difficult enough as it is when you're shooting such a slow rate of fire. That if you miss a shot, just missing one shot could be the end of your fight, right? So those charge shots, they're really cool, but it's very difficult, I feel like. I've had a lot of time with this, and I feel like it was a real big pain, and a lot of times it wasn't doing what I was hoping it would do compared to prior versions of the ship. Now, like I said, it's a 2-second charge time, and then when you do charge shots, it's only 19 rounds per minute. I mean, you're going like crazy slow at this point. I mean, that's only a size 7 gun to be shooting 19 rounds a minute. The round itself travels at a speed of 1,000 meters a second, so that's not terrible at all, but it's still not great. This definitely isn't the ship it used to be. And with my new review scoring system here, I'm going to have to be brutally honest about this ship, and it's going to get the score that I hate ever giving a ship like this. But moving into other details of the ship, it does have 2 shield generators. It is now a bubble shield, and it gives you a total of 12,000 shield HP. So bubble shield means no matter where you get attacked on this ship, it's going to take from the overall shield value until you hit 0, obviously, and all the damage is now being placed onto your ship. So you have 12,000 shield, not the best, not the worst. And then let's go ahead and get into the health pool of the ship itself. You have 30,100 health points, which, it's a heavy fighter. It's not terrible for a heavy fighter, but it's not like the highest either. I feel like given the fact that they have completely destroyed the gun, this ship should have a little bit more of a bonus when it comes to ship HP or shield. Just, I know, I'm fighting over the fact that they did what they did to this ship. Speed of this ship is a max of 210 in SCM speed. So when you're in SCM gun mode, if you're not boosting, it's 210, which isn't terrible, but it's still slow, That's just the new master modes. They're trying to figure out the balancing and all that. And if this ship does get another balance pass in the future, I'll review it again, obviously. Now, when you're boosting forward, you have a max speed of 450 SCM. So that's great. You can hold that boost for a while and, try to get away or, make some distance on your target and then come back for another attack maneuver. And then your nav speed is 1,100. So still got a very high top speed when you're, in nav mode and you're jumping and doing all that kind of stuff, which you have 5,000 QT fuel or quantum fuel. So that's always fantastic. This ship has always been great about going the distance. So gotta love that. You have 8 size 3 Viper 3 missiles, and then you have 12 Arrestor 3 missiles. Some of them on the bottom, as you can see there. Others come up from the top. It looks fantastic, and it, flies terrible. Obviously, it's a bigger ship. It's a heavy fighter. It's heavy. It's got a lot of... you would think it would have really great aerodynamics, but, she moves a little bit harsh. And then... yeah, that's everything about the exterior and the stats of the ship. I'll try to put on some video really quick of going against a couple AI targets because I can't seem to find any players to attack in 3.23 yet. Not pirating, but trying to bounty hunt, and so far that's been coming up short. Getting into the cockpit of this ship, as you can see, you have your typical 4 MFDs at the front here, as well as, all the buttons and everything to your left, right. Go ahead and get all these systems online. Now the only negative is the fact that this gun is just terrible. They really destroyed it from what it was. So, if I were to go ahead and give this a review score, obviously, it's not going to be great. Due to that gun and its capabilities, the fact that this ship just became specifically only for really one class of ship, which is, I know, what it's meant for, and it's still not going to do good at that, honestly. When you're being gunned at from multiple turrets and everything, this ship is just going to be a paperweight in a fight. Honestly, this ship in 3.23 gets a overall rating for any sort of player versus player combat as a 5 out of 10. It really is just that low. Player versus NPC, you can definitely do a little bit more with. So if I were to, split up the scores, that'd be a 7 out of 10. But again, overall, this ship gets a 5 out of 10 for most encounters, and hopefully they'll be able to improve that gun a bit, but we'll see. And speaking of that gun, it only has 20 rounds in the capacitor, so you are very limited on what you can do. Let me know what you guys think of the new and not really improved 3.23 version of the ARES Ion. I know. Beautiful ship, once again destroyed. Will it ever have a place in everybody's hangars where they can happily say they own it and pull it out once in a while without having to feel regret? I don't know. We'll see. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one. 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10. It hurts my soul, but it really is just a ship that isn't what it used to be and probably won't ever be. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.